Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
This is Alison Kentos. I am an early childhood educator.
And this is Cindy Tarabush. I am an early childhood consultant.
This podcast is for parents and early childhood professionals.
Let our experience and research-based knowledge become your guide. Welcome back, preschool peeps.
Hi, peeps.
I kind of want to sing the song Just the Two of Us.
Just the two of us.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. I don't know all the words.
Yeah, no, me neither. Yeah. But we're singing that song because in the last two episodes, they were part 1 and part 2. My son was here.
Yay!
with us, and now he is not.
Yes.
It is back to the Cindy and Alison No Michael show.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back.
And as part of being back, our background is now what it was, and you can see, if Alison moves her head, you can see the QR code that will lead you to things like the podcast website and other resources.
Yeah.
And ways to reach out to us through our website and through Facebook and all sorts of things. So if you were listening to the last 2 episodes and you enjoyed having Michael talking with us, or you thought, wow, Michael makes decent points, then feel free to let us know, because I think he might be willing to do it again in the future. You know, it's easy to get him. He's my son.
Yeah.
Though he doesn't live here
yeah.
when he visits.
It's a good excuse for him to come out and visit.
It is a good excuse for him to come out and visit.
He makes really insightful points.
He's an insightful person.
He's very smart.
He is. He is very smart, an insightful person, and I take partial credit for that. But he really, he's quite the human being.
I take no credit. I cannot.
So we're back, and we need to shout out 2 places to start this episode, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Go
We're
ahead.
Shouting out Ireland. Hello, everybody in Ireland. I've always wanted to visit there. It's beautiful.
I'd like to give a very special acknowledgement to Ireland, if I may.
Yes.
So I have been doing a weight loss and lifestyle change program that actually comes from Ireland. It's called, if anyone's interested, it's called Body Slims. Yeah. I should really tag them on this episode. This is some free advertising.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, folks. It is Body Slims. Look it up. One word, Body Slims. Comes from Ireland, and it's healthy. And it's really basically, you get a calorie allowance, you count your calories, you walk a solid hour every day, and you listen to their motivational and educational videos and stuff. And it's been amazing in my life in so many ways.
Yeah,
so
it's been very life-changing for you.
It is life-changing for me.
Yeah.
Not only like in physical appearance, but also medically.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
Amazing.
So thank you, Ireland, for giving us Body Slims and the people behind it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm about to tag those people
You
like
should,
mad.
If you listen to the last episode, you really are not good at remembering to tag people.
Okay, but you know what? I am connected with the head coach of Body Slims.
Oh, okay.
On Instagram. We have gone back and forth a little. I can let her know.
You can tag her.
I can. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, where in the United States are they listening? Can I relate to this one?
I don't know. Can you? We're shouting out Mississippi.
I know about Mississippi. I've not been to Mississippi. Sorry,
I have
folks.
also not been to Mississippi.
Why haven't we never? All right.
I don't know.
And I've traveled a bit in the United States. I don't just not been to Mississippi.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But maybe we'll put it on the United States travel bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're so glad you're listening in Mississippi and in Ireland, and we appreciate it. Spread the word. Tell your friends and neighbors. Yeah. And please do keep listening and contacting us.
Yeah.
Because we love to hear from all of you. And we may have some things coming up that were inspired by listeners.
Yay.
Today, however, the topic is inspired by some things that we've seen.
Yes.
And, we're in a very let's market it to the people. Let's call it things. Let's market it to the people. Yeah. And if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
But it isn't always good for us or for the children.
Yeah.
And one of those things that has been widely marketed now are these curriculums that families can buy and use at home to help their children learn.
Yes.
So I would like to say first that I am all about families helping their children learn. I think it's wonderful when families are involved and involved in the early childhood program, and they want to know how to help their children build skills. I love that. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Many of the curriculums that are being marketed to families are not developmentally appropriate for this age group. They have activities in them that the National Association for the Education of Young Children and the pediatricians would tell you are not appropriate for the age group.
Yep.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Yeah.
Human.
Yeah.
So I think, and that was a cough, not a sneeze, by the way.
No, I knew that because I didn't say bless you. See?
Okay, thank you.
See? I knew.
It's really, I have a little piece of something caught in the back of my throat.
All right, I got an itchy nose right now. There you go. See, we're real people.
Getting back to the topic.
Anyway.
So I was looking, I saw like, oh, I was looking up something
Yes.
having to do with curriculum. And I saw curriculums, especially for families, for parents, for people, whoever's raising the children.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's interesting. Like, it's not even just the program sending things home. It's something you can purchase. That's interesting. And I went in there and I looked at it and went, oh, no, because it includes workbooks,
Yep.
worksheets,
Yep.
flashcards, all the things that are not developmentally appropriate for this age group and are not the way that they learn best.
Correct.
And I'm sure families are widely buying this. I hearken back to many years ago, there was a product that promised people that they could get their babies reading.
Babies.
Babies reading.
Babies. Yes.
And lots of people did buy it. They spent hundreds of dollars. And what ended up happening in the end was it didn't work.
Yeah.
And there was, I believe, a lawsuit, probably class action lawsuit, because people had spent so much money and it was taken off the market.
Yes.
I suspect that these curriculums will be a little different because what they're asking children to do is memorize things and spit it back.
And spit it back out.
And people will mistake that for actual learning and knowledge.
Learning. Yes.
Until a child can take what they've learned and use it to create from their own ideas, not ours, until they can use it to create, to analyze, compare, contrast situations, to evaluate what they're seeing, then it's not deeper learning.
Right.
And the way children learn to do that, to create, to analyze, to evaluate, to develop deep critical thinking skills is with hands-on explorations.
Yes.
So I'm here to tell you, if you're looking at a curriculum for home or you work in a program where you know the families are buying this, and it's like a packet full of workbooks or a packet full of worksheets or a packet full of flashcards, save yourself some money and instead go for a walk with your children.
Yes.
And talk to them.
And talk to them.
And point out things they're seeing and let them use their senses to explore it. And bring some artifacts home from outside so that they can further and more deeply explore it in their own time when they want to. Instead of buying these curriculums that are being marketed now. What you could do if you're thinking, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to take a walk. It's hot, it's humid, it's cold, it's snowing. Okay, here's what you can do. The time that you would have spent doing those coloring pages and worksheets and all that stuff, put it away. And instead, sit on the floor if you can, or on a chair, and play with your children.
I was going to say,
sure how to help you with that.
Okay,
That
Alexa.
was my device.
All right, Alexa.
She doesn't know how to help you with that because
all you have to do is play or let them play.
let them play.
Let them play. It costs nothing to let them play.
And then you go over while they're playing and you ask questions that require them to think critically about what they're doing. You ask things like, why did you decide to put that over there? Or tell me the story of what you're pretending.
Or what do you think will happen if we do this?
Right.
Right. You know?
So really, children need hands-on exploration. They need meaningful conversation. They need people having serve and return interactions with them, back and forth. And for an infant, that looks like, you make a face and I make a face, and then you make a face and I make a face, or you
peekaboo kind of
right,
thing.
peekaboo. Peekaboo's a great serve and return. So I'm so concerned about what people are buying, and I've also seen some curriculums that are aimed at people who are homeschooling, and I know we have homeschoolers listening to this podcast. Because we hear from you. We hear from you. So, and we're paying attention to that. And I want to tell you that going out with your children and having a real experience
Yeah.
teaches them so much more than these workbooks. And people may be wondering, well, what's wrong with doing that at home? So they are not, when these sort of flashcards and workbooks and all that are written, they don't take into consideration the individual needs of children.
Right.
And they very often set them up to fail instead of succeed.
Yes. Yeah.
And they are like a one size fits all. If we learned anything about early education, it's that one size does not fit all.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why we talk so much about ensuring that we are observing children, figuring out what they know, what they can do, what are their prior experiences, what is their culture like, we're learning all about your children when we observe them so that we can tailor what we do with them.
Yes.
If your children go to an early childhood program, what they should be sending home to you are activities to do in a hands-on way.
Hands-on way, yes.
With your children. It should be things like, we're in school, we are teaching children about, being able to recognize their names. What you can do at home is label some of their things with their names and then put your names on your things and expand that knowledge and have the children help you do that. It shouldn't be, here's a worksheet of the child's name and now have them trace it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that being sent home.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes programs tell me, well, that's what families are looking for. And it's because they don't know better, folks.
You don't know what you don't know, right? That's what it is. And nothing against families. They don't know what they don't know. Not every family has early childhood experts in them. Like, you don't know, right? So that is what they're asking for because that's what they grew up with and that's what they think is supposed to happen. But you, as the educator, need to educate them in what is the appropriate thing to do at home to get their child to whatever their goal is.
We have to say things to them like, when they say things like, well, I would like to have worksheets. I want my child to be able to follow directions. We have to tell them, well, children need to learn to follow directions in an authentic way that's reflected in the way adults follow directions. So what would be a really good thing for your child to learn to follow directions is have them cook with you, have them put together something with you. Because how do we follow directions as adults? We cook or we put together furniture. Right?
True.
Like, so have them put together, and it doesn't have to be complicated furniture. It can be, you take pictures of things you have in your home. It can even be like, we're going to put the laundry away. So we have photos of each step by step of how to do that.
Of what we're gonna
you
do.
go to the laundry basket, you grab the socks, you bring the socks to the drawer, you come back to the laundry basket. You do step by step with visuals and let them follow that. That's them learning to follow directions, but they need visuals.
Yeah. I think an easy one sometimes is, how do you pack your bag up to go to school?
Yeah, there you go. There's visuals.
You could take visuals,
pictures of what they put in their bag and let them gather it.
Yeah, what do you need for school? You need your lunchbox, you need your water bottle, you need whatever it is that you need to bring to school that day, and you need to pack it up and you need to zip it up and you need to, that's something that we work on at school that you could easily do at home. People
learn more from authentic situations and interactions than they do from rote memorization. Just here, remember it and spit it back at me.
Right.
And more and repetition is important, but the repetition needs to be authentic and hands-on and natural.
Yeah, not just spitting it back out at you.
Yeah. So many things, I'm sure, as a student, I memorized, spit it back, and couldn't tell you one thing about it today.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is like the early childhood studying for the test kind of thing that so many people are against, like, oh, we're teaching to a test. Well, when you give these worksheets or these flashcards, you're teaching to a test, right? Like, that's basically what that is.
It really is.
And so many people are like, we shouldn't be teaching to a test. I'm like, well, you're buying curriculum that's teaching to a test.
And it's important that families know not to get nervous and not to compare their children to other children. Like, there's so much comparison in today's world.
But I think that's why people are prone to buy those things, because there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of like, I don't want my child to get behind and I'm worried about them and I want to give them the best step forward. And then these curriculums are marketed towards that.
Isn't it true that we talk about, we each carve our own lives?
Yes.
right? We carve our own lives, and all of us are good at some things, and all of us struggle with other things, and all of us have areas of strength, and all of us have areas for opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
And comparing isn't good. And the only time I think comparing is a beneficial thing is when we are scientifically comparing something like what is the average development of a child in this age group, what is far outside the average.
Yeah.
But that's scientifically based.
Yes.
When I'm just looking at other people's children going, well, he can do this, why can't you do it? It's because we're all on our own path.
Right.
And the path is not the same from child to child.
Right.
They don't even take in information and learn it in the same way.
Right.
Never mind use it in the same way, right?
Yes.
And for some children, they're going to learn to be verbal earlier than other children. And some children are going to be really good at mathematical and spatial concepts before other children. And some children are going to read before other children.
Yes.
Right? Some children are going to walk before other children.
Yeah.
The question becomes, what is outside of the range of typical development?
Right.
And for that, we have screening tools
Yes.
and specialists.
Yes. Yeah.
I think people need to stop panicking that if their child isn't doing exactly what another child is doing, that they're outside of the range of
Right.
typical development.
Right.
You have to really look into that with experts.
Right.
And the first step in doing that is making sure your child goes to an early childhood program that does developmental screening.
Yep.
We have to screen the children to find out who needs what kind of extra support potentially. And then it's the experts, the specialists who actually determine that. A screening doesn't diagnose anything.
Right.
But I think it's important that we stop doing this non-scientific comparison. And you're right. It's what drives people to
buy that.
to spend the money and get the curriculum. When I think deep inside, people know if I just spend time interacting with this child, the child's going to gain knowledge.
Right.
Children learn every waking moment of the day.
Yeah.
And so intentional conversations with them are good.
Yeah.
You know, you want a child to learn how a story is written, sit with them at the end of the day, tell them about your day, ask them about their day, and they're going to learn about the sequencing of a story.
Yes.
Right? They're going to learn how to stay on topic. They're going to learn how to think in a language and literacy way.
Right. Right.
You want children to learn math in an authentic way, let them help you sort laundry.
Yeah.
Right? Sort laundry, count how many people are going to be sitting at the table, and do we have enough cups? Do we have enough plates?
Yeah. Have them set the table. I think is a big mathematical thing. We have 4 people. We need 4 plates. We need 4 forks. We need, that's a big mathematical, and placing them 1 to 1 to 1 is a big mathematical thing.
I like to look at children and say, you put out plates, right? You put out a bunch of plates, you put out a bunch of cups.
Yeah.
You look at the child and you say, how do you know if we have the right number of plates to people? How do you know?
How do you know?
And let them kind of puzzle that out when they're thinking, oh, I should put one of these in front of every chair.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But let them do that problem solving. Folks, that's real learning. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars
on that.
You just don't.
Yeah.
And just because someone says to you, this is how to do it, doesn't mean that they're going by any kind of facts to say that. Anybody can market anything. Anybody can put anything on the internet. This is not vetted.
Yeah. It reminds me of one of our really, really, really early episodes. Is your expert really an expert?
Yeah.
So when you have people who are creating curriculum, they may not be experts in early childhood education. They might not be. You don't know, right, who they are or what they're experts in. So is your curriculum really expert based? Probably not. Expert written? No. You don't know.
You don't know. And anybody can self-declare. I'm an expert.
100% true. Yes.
You can look at the information about what's developmentally appropriate for this age group through reputable sources like the National Association for the Education of Young Children is one. 0 to 3. Yep, 0 to 3.
One.
The Harvard Graduate School of Education, all they put out about early education, and they put a lot out.
A lot. Yeah.
So please find reputable places. And I'm going to offer you all this. If you're looking at a product or your families are using a particular product, and you want to contact us and say, what do you think of this? I would answer that contact and I would answer that email and I will be honest and tell you what I think.
Yeah.
And now you're thinking, well, what makes her an expert? I'll tell you exactly what makes me an expert, folks, is I've been recognized as an expert by outside entities, by universities, by actually a court system in the state of New Jersey. So out by a publisher. But I've been recognized by people who can actually bestow the title expert. Right. So I've been a subject matter expert for universities. I have been an expert witness. I am a published author by a publishing company. I am asked by really reputable associations and agencies to teach on their behalf. So there you go. It comes from not me just saying it. And I have to be honest, the first time expert was attached to me, I had a lot of imposter syndrome. I was like, what on earth is happening here?
She did.
I also have a master's degree. I have an advanced degree. I have multiple certifications. So there you go.
There you go.
Right? There you go. So if you want me to take a look, or both of us, I'm more than happy to save you a couple cents. Or maybe give you the way to talk to the families about it, because sometimes people just don't have the words. Right? You don't know how to talk to them in a way that's not going to be offensive. So I'm happy to help. You can go to howpreschoolteachersdoit.com. We have a contact form. And you can go to Facebook and send us a message. And also we have a forum.
We do.
On our website. Feel free, folks. Please use that forum on the website. All right. We will catch you next time on the podcast.
All right. Bye, peeps.
Bye, peeps.